is the expected date that we would like to see agility in the country?
We will be in Kenya. I can give you my word, I will be personally in Kenya in the month of February before the 20th.
Yes.
A date is going to be confirmed. I'm aware the team had a call on Monday. Unfortunately, I've been busy, so I've not had a chance to engage with the CEO of Agility Africa and our HR director, who are busy with this in Kenya. So I will be having a meeting with them today. I couldn't have a conversation with them over the past 3 days. So I will get a feeler of that. But I'm certain that the date is going to be for the 20th of February in Kenya, because we are also doing a launch, which we will invite even media like yourselves to come and see what we are bringing to the market. We will have a launch before we open the store, where we launch our products to the public.
I do promise I will be right there at that particular launch. Let's talk about policy, Mandla Lamba. If indeed economies are talking about climate change and protecting the climate, your companies would like to think a company like Agility then will be at the central focus of any government that is serious about climate change. And it comes at a time when we have just completed COP27. Could you speak to me? Is it easier for you now, Mandla Lamba, than it was in 2018 for you to run your operations in South Africa? Sort of asking you then, is South Africa government and any other partners that you're looking within the economy embracing you as a company for now and the future?
It is. I'll tell you. And I believe this happened. Very, very important question. I love this question. So it is. It was hard when we started. The first thing is that I'm from a village. You come into the market and you're a village boy, and people are asking, who is this village boy? Where is he from? Who is his father? Trying to come and charter an uncharted territory here. So you have to fight those forces first, and then the government being reluctant to support you because they don't know where this is going to go, and they don't want to support something that one day they're going to regret. So I think things changed when we started launching the products, and mostly when we became a public company. Now people knew that we mean business when we became a public company. So it's much easier now. Matter of fact, we've got a support of our government even in South Africa now.
Yes, but what would you tell economies that have not really started the shift? Because the headlines that we're getting from majority of these companies that have been giving Africa their vehicles is that in the next 7 years, some are very serious to the point that they're saying by 2030, no vehicle other than electric moving out of their manufacturing points. What would you tell economies that have not been that serious then in starting these conversations on e-mobility? Are they going to get caught out? Is that what you want to tell them, Mandla Lamba?
Yes, that's what is going to happen. And that's why I think an engagement with government in your platforms like this you guys have afforded me. I really appreciate it, Simba. You see where we are now. The button is going to be pressed. 2028, somewhere there. We're going to have a button pressed that no more petrol cars on the road.
Yes.
This is when the governments in Africa will start fiddling and trying to figure out the way. But I'm happy that there are governments who are even shutting out exportation of lithium, cobalt, and so forth that are very central for the manufacturing of electric vehicles. So if all governments could start now, right now we have a place where we call, I would call it the intersection of the new and the end, which pivots the end of the old and the beginning of the new world order. Where we are, the governments have an opportunity to play part in the oil industry with the old order. The governments did not have an opportunity. They had to regulate the industry and take whatever they could get from the oil industry. With EV, the government have a power to even control infrastructure. If you look at America right now, from the time of Trump to the time now we have Biden, they've been rolling out charging infrastructure, which is government owned. They know for a fact that when that time comes, the button is pressed, they are going to be collecting the revenue from the charging of the vehicles. But the governments in Africa, if they stagnate and still wait to see what the West says and what the West will do, it's going to be the same thing that is happening in the industries that are of the old order. So I do advise, we do actually, with the rollout of their policy framework in Africa. We have two governments that we are advising with that. So it's very important for governments to understand. Soon they will not be able to take certain industries because those industries won't exist.
Yes.
Soon we're going to have a labor market that is on a decline with the rise of AI, and the rise of AI is not going to remove jobs. The rise of AI is going to cause people not to fit in, and it won't be the lack of jobs, it will be the lack of people who can do the jobs to a degree that the companies decide, you know what, if humans can, then we will employ more AI, they teach more AI to do those jobs, to a degree that people are going to go into a stage where they rely on grants, government grants, where there's no jobs, because people can't do those jobs. They were not prepared. They didn't upskill. They held on to the qualifications they have. That will not be much relevant for the world we're going into. So governments need to be in charge of the EV industry in terms of infrastructure. They need to play a big part in it,
yes,
because that's where most of the revenue will come from to fund these grants, these subsidies to support our people at the ground who will not be able to get jobs, because that's where we are going anyway.
Pretty much. Madalamba, would you need to take a minute to respond to this question? Because I've been given 2 minutes to get out of the studio with you. Now, the first question, therefore, Madalamba, is it's a good conversation that you're talking about AI. Does e-mobility push us into this area for AI? Or we can just talk about e-mobility by itself and that's it?
You can't talk about e-mobility and you don't talk about AI. Mm-hmm. So one and the same thing. That's the green revolution. That's the new world.
Yes, pretty much.
So AI is driving e-mobility. Anyone who's going to get into e-mobility that is not driven by AI, they are still playing with water.
Like the way you put it. Last question now for, paint for me a picture of Agility then. You've been in existence since 2018. You're not even 5 years old. Let's not even look at 2023. Paint for me a picture of where you will be in 10 years. What is this particular vision, if you can, in 45 seconds?
We've been blessed enough to spearhead our growth in Africa. We've opened our offices now in Asia. We are also growing in the US. We've appointed our leaders in the US and our offices in Dallas, Texas, in America. So I believe that in 10 years, we will be everywhere, creating jobs and supporting our people and bringing solutions to our people, not that solutions that are not driven